Hey, welcome to a quick review on the Pythagorean theorem. So, Pythagoras was a Greek philosopher to which is attributed some math discoveries, one of them being the Pythagorean Theorem, in which is stated that the square of the hypotenuse of a right triangle is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. And it is used to find the missing side or a missing side of a right triangle. Okay, and what do we know in a right triangle? We know that one of the angles is a right angle. The opposite side to the right angle is the hypotenuse. So side C is called the hypotenuse. Okay, sides A and B are called legs. So for any right triangle, we said that the sum of the squares of the two sides is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And let's practice with this a little bit. Find the value of x, round your answer to the nearest tenth. So the first decimal place. Number one, we have a right triangle and two sides are 8 and 13 and one of them is x. And if I draw an arrow from the right angle, I can see that that's the opposite side to the 90-degree angle, the right angle, which is the hypotenuse. So this I call it C, and the other two I can call them A and B. It doesn't matter the order how you do it. And then we're gonna do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We're just gonna substitute the values. A is 8, so 8 squared plus b is 13, 13 squared equals c, which is x squared. 8 squared is 64 plus 13 squared is 169, which equals x squared. Now if we combine those two, we add them together, that is 233 equals x squared. How do we get rid of a square? We're going to take the square root of both sides. That will cancel my square here. And the square root of 233 is equal to 15.3 if we round to the nearest tenth. Number two, we have another right triangle, and get in the habit of drawing an arrow from the 90-degree angle, from the right angle, to identify the hypotenuse, which is C, and then the other two are A and B. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and then a is 27 squared, b is 22 squared, and is equal to x squared. So 27 squared, that is 729, plus 22 squared, 484, which equals a x squared. Combine them by adding, so that's 1213 equals x squared. And then again, we're going to take the square root of that, and then x is equal to square root of 1213 is equal to approximately 34.8. So we're gonna switch a little bit now, and what do we have? Now the hypotenuse is given to us, that is c, which equals 30.5, and then one of the legs we need to find. So we're going to have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A is x squared plus b is 19.1, and I'm going to put it in parentheses, and then so I can identify that I have a decimal point, and c is 30.5 squared. Okay, so let's see, 30.5 squared, that is equal to 930.25. 19.1 squared, that is 364.81, and x squared stays the same. Now we're gonna have to switch 364.81 to the right side, so since we have addition here, we're gonna do subtraction on both sides. 364.81, and then x squared is equal to 930.25 minus 364.81, that is equal to 565.44. We're going to take the square root of that, and x is equal to 23.8. Okay, number 4. Now we have, if you pay attention to this, we're going to see that we have an isosceles triangle, yeah? Because we have two sides equal. So this is also 24. In an isosceles triangle, x is actually the altitude, okay? So the altitude, if we drop it in an isosceles triangle, is going to split the base in two equal sides, and this is going to be 11, and this is going to be also 11. So there are two congruent triangles. We can pick either one of them, and we have x is one of the legs, so let's call it A, and this is B, and this is C. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared, Pythagorean Theorem. And we're going to have to substitute. So a squared is x squared plus 11 squared equals 24 squared. So x squared, 11 squared is 121, and 24 squared is 576. So we're going to subtract 121. X squared equals 455. We're going to take the square root of that. X is equal to 21.3. All right, in conclusion, we're going to do a little application, and it is suggested to draw a picture, then solve for the missing side around your answer to the nearest tenth. So let's take a look. A roofer leaned a 16-foot ladder against a house. If the base of the ladder is 5 feet from the house, how high up the house does the ladder reach? So let's take a look. So if this is the side of the house, all right, we don't know how high that is, yeah? We're going to mark it with X. Let's say that this is the base. This is given that to be 5 feet. And then this is my ladder. It goes up 16 feet. So now we're going to try to find x. So this is my 90-degree angle. So this is my hypotenuse. This is my one of the legs, and this is the other leg. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A is 5, and then b is x squared, which equals 16 squared. 16 squared. All right, 5 squared, 25, plus x squared, and is equal to 16 squared as 256. We're going to subtract 25, and then x squared equals, what is that, 231. Take the square root of that, and x is equal to square root of 231 is 15.2 feet. So that's how high is on the wall. So this concludes our quick review on Pythagorean theorem. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, write a comment in the section below.